When we translate word problems into mathematical equations, we look for key words and phrases. The following chart has many, but certainly not all, of the words and phrases that are connected to four arithmetic operations and the equal sign. Following is a list of general steps for solving applied problems. Read the problem carefully, more than once if necessary, until you understand it. Draw a picture if necessary. Identify what you are being asked to find. Choose a variable to represent the unknown quantity. Translate the problem into an equation using a well-chosen variable. Solve the equation. Check the answer in the original problem and interpret the solution as it relates to the problem. Be sure that your answer makes sense in the context of the problem. Write the following statement as an equation and determine the number. The statement is 4 more than a number is negative 18. More than hints at addition. What is not known? We don't know what the number is. Let's call that in. So we have 4 more than a number. 4 plus a number. Is means equal sign. Negative 18. To solve this equation, to find what n the number is, we would have to subtract 4 from both sides of this equation. 4 minus 4 is 0. We'd have 0 plus n, which is simply n, equals negative 18 minus 4. This is equivalent to writing negative 18 plus a negative 4. When you're adding two negatives together, you add their absolute values, which are positive 18 and positive 4. It gives you positive 22, but when you add two negatives, you get negative. In this case, n equals negative 22. We will have to figure out whether n minus 23 or 23 minus n is the correct way to write the difference. The difference of a number and 23, the way that's worded, you write the number and 23 in the order in which it appears in the English, left to right. So we have n minus 23 is means equals 4. Add 23 to both sides of this equation. Negative 23 and positive 23 is 0. We have n plus 0, which is simply n. 4 plus 23 is 27. 10 less than 3 times a number is the same as 11. Less than indicates subtraction, but are we going to have 10 subtract 3 times a number, so 10 minus 3n, or 3n minus 10? Subtraction is not commutative, so the order in which we write the subtraction problem makes a difference. Pardon the pun. So which of these is correct? Let's think through a little example. If I said, what is 10 less than 50? Well, if I just came up to you and asked you, what is 10 less than 50? You would say 40. Which of these two expressions is going to give us 40? 50 minus 10 is 40, whereas 10 minus 50 is negative 40. So that means for the phrase less than, when you have one number less than another, you switch the order in which it's written in the English. So 10 less than 3 times a number, the order gets switched around and 3 times a number is written first. So we have 3 times a number, 3n, minus 10 is, means equals, the same as 11. So 3n minus 10 equals 11. Our first step is to add 10 to both sides of this equation. Negative 10 and positive 10 is 0. And we have 3n plus 0. That's the same as 3n equals 11 plus 10 is 21. And again, since 3n means 3 times n, we undo multiplication through its inverse operation, which is division. We will divide both sides by 3 in order to isolate n. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 1 times n is more simply written n. 21 divided by 3 is 7. And that's our answer, n equals 7. 3/4 of a number is -6. We see is, which means equals. Of, you have to be careful. Sometimes it's just the basic English preposition. But when we have a fraction preceding it, we definitely are thinking multiplication. 3/4 of something is 3/4 times that thing. So 3/4 times a number times n is -6. How do we solve for n when it's multiplied by a fraction? Fastest way is to multiply both sides by the reciprocal of this fraction. So we multiply both sides of this equation by 4/3. And any fraction times its reciprocal, that gives us 1. So we have 1 times n, or more simply n, equals -6 times 4/3. That's right, that -6 divided by 1 times 4/3. And to multiply fractions, we multiply through the numerators. -6 times 4 is -24. Multiply through the denominators. 1 times 3 is 3. And we have negative divided by positive, which is negative. 24 divided by 3 is 8. So our answer, and the number, n equals -8.